The time has come for Singaporeans to manifest. I'm so happy that people in Singapore are finally waking up from this matrix, this concept of, well, life is good. It's a great place to live. And now people are starting to think, well, life is still good, but it's not as good as before. It's not like what I had in mind. I came across two very interesting pieces of social content recently. One was from this Instagram account, SG Follows All. It was about how someone ordered kaya toast at the Tan Tock Seng Hospital food court, Kopitiam. Instead of getting 2 slices of bread, it was a slice of bread that was carefully cut in half, sold for the same money. People were joking about it in the comments like, oh, they want people to eat less white bread, better for health, and all kinds of things. But a lot of people in the comments were generally getting more aware of the fact that rising cost of rental is really making things very expensive. In a separate case, I come across this article. It was about young Singaporeans who are expressing their ideas on Reddit or some other forums. If they were to marry, they would not consider a diploma holder because of the income ceiling that many diploma holders have. So a graduate would look for a life partner who's also a graduate. So all this thing about true love, whatever, at the end of the day, how frustrating it can be when the spending power is just not the same. For a bit of context, my channel Inspire at Random is about manifestation, and manifestation is bringing from a non-physical reality something that we want to achieve into a physical reality. It could be our hopes and dreams. We can bring that into an experience that our loved ones can also partake in. I am a Singaporean who's living in Thailand. I moved away like years ago, and the cost of living here is so different that the quality of life for the same dollar is just incomparable. I would even say that the cost of raising one kid in Singapore, you can comfortably raise 3, 4, or even 5 kids in Thailand. And you could send them for enrichment classes, sport classes, and when I say sport classes, you're not just going to get any Tom, Dick, or Harry to teach them, but actually ex-national players. Oh. There's just no comparison as compared to someone in Singapore, some 20-something that doesn't know jack about the sport and charges you $100 per hour, looking at his watch the whole time when it's time to go and next class. What I wish to express here in this video, why now this is the best time to manifest for those of you in Singapore, is because now that you get a taste that this is not it, alright? This is getting out of hand. For those of you who heard of Bob Proctor, the movie The Secret, right? He was the main presenter. In his book, You Were Born Rich, he talked about something called the law of polarity. For every high, there is a low. For every good, there is a bad. The law of polarity that we're seeing right now in Singapore is that back then, what we paid for roti prata or like mee rebus or kaya with coffee and your egg is way different from what it is right now. I was just at Beauty World on my last trip. I was just looking at some of the prices and I was like, curry chicken with prata, like $7. Wow. So it used to be like $3 back in the day, and like mee rebus was like $2, now it's like $5.50. And you know, your kaya toast, your breakfast or afternoon snack is costing as much as a lunchtime meal or a dinner meal. If you're with me, comment down beneath this video, yeah, that's not right. Right? Yeah, that's not right. Comment down beneath this video. The good news is, because you feel that this isn't right. I still remember I could buy oven-baked rice at NYDC Cafe in a nice Suntec City environment for just about under $10, like $9.90 or $8.90, something like that. That price, now I see parents paying an average of $8 to $9 for a meal with their kids in a food court, where they have to first find a table and then pay the same price. So for the same amount of money, you're getting a lot less. When you take this comparison, you go to Taiwan, you go to Thailand, where I'm at, you go to Kuala Lumpur. How much are you paying for these things? How much more are you getting for the same money that you spend? I mean, your $50, 50 Singapore dollars is worth way more in Malaysia, worth way more in Thailand or even China or even Japan. How much further does your money go? This, my friends, is quality of life. Think back to a time when you were growing up, maybe 10, 15 years ago when you're growing up. Some of your parents is watching this. I'm a parent at 40 years old, right? Back then, how much more could you do versus now? If you're thinking that that's not right, all right, it's time to dream. It's time to think bigger. It's time to understand that not all work is the same. A lot of people think that, all this spiritual new age crap is just crap. At the end of it, it's work. But not all work is the same. Not all work gives the same reward. Some give more reward. Some give less. A guy working hard, gathering supermarket trolleys, he's working hard. Versus, a guy in the office, expat, in a bank, working a lot less hard than a Singaporean, but getting paid 20, 30 grand a month. Arguable, isn't it? The work that you put in is not getting the same level of reward. And if that is the case, ask yourself, what is my worth? Am I getting my worth? Or if this is my current worth, how can I be worth more, right? What do I plan to achieve? What would I like to give my family? What would it be like if right now, instead of the 5,000 a month that I'm getting as an income, what would it be like if I had 15,000 a month? But actually, no, I take that back, because even dual income families these days are struggling to save. Dual income families are still thinking hard about whether they should have that second child or not. Let's put it this way. How would it feel right now if you're making 30,000 a month? I know the jump between 10,000 and 30,000 is huge. Because with 30,000, you can afford so much more life. What I'm asking you right now, this is called an ask-formation. It's like an affirmation, but it's also a question. I ask. So your answer is your ask-formation. How would you feel right now if your house was fully paid? How would you feel right now if you did not only have to choose a HDB flat? How would you feel right now if you had the opportunity and the finance to choose between a private condo and a landed house? Think about it. As you start to think about these things, with this contentment, you can find your true contentment. Or at least it will lead you to more questions in your mind. And as you actively seek out answers to these questions, I guarantee your life will improve. By the way, I have a community called Inspire at Random. It is on the school.com platform. It's currently free to join. I plan to charge from December. So click on the link in the video description. I have schematic programs for you to go through. Plug into the 60 plus members right now in this international community. So all of you who've come this far in the video, you're kind of like the guy in the movie Free Guy. Remember that movie Free Guy? The one with that Green Lantern actor Ryan Reynolds? He was a bank teller wearing that blue shirt uniform. And then one day he decided that I don't want to just keep doing the same routines every day. I want to be more than that. By the end of the movie, he was showing massive abilities. Like how Neo in the Matrix able to bring out special abilities at the snap of the fingers, like an instant download, and able to manifest huge weapons. The thing is, we all have a powerful ability to create. The best part is, now in Singapore, with all these things going on, all these economical changes, you start to wonder. I think it's great that a lot of Singaporeans are no longer driving first-hand cars, because you're beginning to appreciate, heck, for half the price of a Toyota Corolla with a fresh COE, I can buy a Maserati Gran Turismo with 3 years left and have a hell of a time. Or if that's not your piece of cake, you can get a nice 2-point-something liter BMW, a Mercedes, an Audi. You have a German car feel for less than the cost of a brand new Toyota Corolla. At this time I was just thinking of a song. We were meant to live for so much more, and we lost ourselves. Somewhere we live inside. Somewhere we live inside. We were meant to live for so much more. What are we doing right now with our lives? Action starts today. I want to let you know everything that you want and everything that you just discovered that you want actually exists at a frequency. Right now, maybe you are at a certain vibrational frequency, and let's say what we want exists over here. It's kind of like if you are not logging on to this Wi-Fi signal, you will never have access to the Wi-Fi. And if we're not at this frequency, try as we may, we will not have what we want. But the good news is, we can raise our frequency. Let's talk about scams in Singapore. Scams are getting more and more, all the dating scams, cyber phishing scams and all that. But after a period of time, and I hope all of you watching this video get past it, because you know how to see them from a mile away. It's just like people as well. People are trying to sell you into pyramid schemes. People are trying to sell you into garbage courses. to take your hard-earned money, when you get to a certain point, you realize what you really want, and you realize that, well, this course is not the only way for me to get this goal. I don't necessarily have to trade Forex. I don't necessarily have to learn how to run Airbnb flipping in order to make a lot of income. I don't have to become whatever this course is pushed to me. It's not the only way that I can break free from the rat race. There are many other ways as well. But above everything else, it all begins in the mind. Good news is, all of you are already beginning to realize this. So comment below. Yes, yeah, I know! Singaporeans need to manifest more than ever before. I recommend that you watch my other videos on my channel. Start out in my community. Link is in the video description. Let's break out of the matrix. Let's stop being an NPC. Let's consciously live our life. And YouTube probably show you another video right here. Check it out. I'll see you on the inside.